Right, we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, let me know if you can hear me and you can see me okay. And welcome to a solo playthrough of Tindaya. Now, I've already covered the multiplayer game of this on Friday. So if you are interested in seeing the multiplayer competitive game, that is on the channel now. Today, we're going to be doing the cooperative mode of the game, but we're going to be doing it solo. So there's two things that you're going to see today. You're going to see the cooperative mode of the game, and you're going to see how that plays out and how it's different from the multiplayer game. And you're going to see how the solo game, because effectively the solo game is the cooperative mode, but with an extra tweak on there. It looks like we are doing okay. Right, yes, AV is okay. So, let's cover what Tindaya is. If you haven't watched the previous video, this is a 1 to 4 player game that can be played cooperatively, competitively. There's a solo mode, and the competitive game also has a variant where you can include a traitor. There's lots of different ways you can play this game. But essentially, what this game is thematically is it's set in the Canary Islands, and it's the tribes of people that live there for about 1,000 years. And what we've got is we've got two main gods. We've got Maneba and we've got Akoran, and we are trying to appease those gods because they get very angry with us and they throw catastrophes at us, and we've got to try and survive for 3 ages. Now, in the competitive version of the game, that is still the same thing. You have the gods throwing these catastrophes at you, which you need to survive. You also have conquistadors arriving, trying to colonize the islands. We try to fight them off and get rid of them. But in the competitive version of the game, it is the player with the most points that wins. In the cooperative version of the game, which is called Alliance mode, and in the solo mode, we are just trying to survive for 3 ages, but we also have a mission. So I'm going to show you the wilderness card. So this is the wilderness. Now, as I did on Friday, this actually stands up on a nice stand here at the end of the table so that all players can see it. For the purpose of this video, I'm just showing you it lying down, but it does actually go as a 3D board. Now, what we've got in the solo game, and well, in the cooperative game, you have a mission. And this has been chosen. You can either pick whichever one you want. I've decided to go with one at random. And this mission means that at the end of the game, depending on which difficulty level I'm playing on, and I'm going to be playing on the medium difficulty level today, which might be the wrong thing to do. Oh, Jeremy's in the chat. I was going to contact you, Jeremy, about this. Yeah, you should have stole the prototype. You should absolutely... Yeah, I was going to send you a message at the weekend because I think played it on Friday. I think this is I think you'd like it, and I wanted to see if you'd had the opportunity to play it. But yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy from Man vs. Meeple, for popping in. So anyway, back to the mission. We're going to be playing on medium difficulty today. Now, that might be the wrong thing to do. I've never played the solo game before, so it might be the wrong thing to do, but we will see. And this mission says, at the end of the game, we need to have 3 different of the non-perishable goods. Now, just as a look at my player board, there are 4 different skill trees, and the bottom one of each is the non-perishable good. So it's smoked fish, salted pork, cheese, and roasted wheat. Now, although I don't have the ability to create my own salted pork, I actually do have one, because my setup card that I chose, which was at random, told me that I start with some salted pork. So I'm thinking about this straight away, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. If my objective at the end of the game, or one of the objectives, is to have 3 different non-perishable goods, I've already got one of them. I could actually ignore that particular skill tree and just keep that salted pork till the end of the game, and we'll see what happens. Right, the other thing that we're trying to do, and this is whether you're playing multiplayer, cooperative, competitive, solo, whatever, is you have to retain control of the archipelago at the end of the game. So even in the competitive game, if there are too many conquistadors on the board at the end of the game, all players lose. And basically, we look up in a solo game how many natives we have on the board, and that tells us how many conquistadors there can be maximum. So if I manage to get all of my villagers on the board at the end of the game, which is 9, then there can be no more than 10 conquistadors. If there are 11 or more, I lose the game immediately. Okay? The other thing that's over here is, and this is different from the competitive game, but whenever you basically gather resources from one of the hexes, you take the tile, and in the cooperative game, you are limited, based on the difficulty level that you've chosen, how many tiles you can take maximum. So in a medium difficulty game, it is 7. So I can have no more than 7 of these tiles. Also, if you watched the previous playthrough, you will remember that if you were to take the last of these resource tiles from an island, you lose 1 point. in the cooperative version of the game, you cannot remove the last tile from an island. So I have to be very, very careful about which of those tiles I'm going to take. Okay, so that's my objective, is I've got to survive 3 ages against the wrath of the gods. I also need to get to the end of the game, I need to complete the mission, and I need to retain control of the archipelago. If we do that, I get to eat this Jaffa cake. If we don't, I'm going to eat it anyway. I might have another one if I win. Right, now, as I mentioned, I've done the setup off camera. I did this earlier on today. You can lay out these sea tiles however you want. These are modular, and you can arrange them however you want, and I've gone with this arrangement. And then there's 8 different islands, and then depending on the setup card, it will tell you how many of each terrain type there are on the islands. Then I choose where to go, and in a solo game, you get 1 goat herd, and you get 1 crop field. So I've chosen that I'm going to go there. Then what you do, and this is only in a solo game, but there is another player. So you draw, you use one of these cards to decide where the other player has got a pig farm and a fishing settlement, okay? Then you decide where the conquistadors go. That again is based on a card. So I've done all of that for you. And if we just look at the Mount Tindaya board, these are all revealed for age 1. So this is a Koran's power. This is what a Koran is going to do to us at the end of this age. I'll come back to that in a minute. This is what Manib is going to do to us at the end of the age. And this is the event card. And you'll notice, if you remember Friday's playthrough, we played on easy. So we're playing on medium difficulty today, which means these are all different. So we're going to get, at the end of this age, we're going to get Maniba is going to unleash her wrath upon us, which is the Twister. Then we're going to get the white conquistador ship, followed by the grey ship, followed by the black ship. Then we're going to have a volcano, and then a Koran's power is going to go. This is a Koran's power, which was decided randomly. This is Maniba's power, which was decided randomly. And this here tells us where they are. And in age 1, you see this. We might not see this later on, but we see it for age 1. So we know from the setup, the first thing that's going to happen is Maniba is here. Okay. Now Maniba's power is the Twister. So within her impact range, and her impact range right now is 2, because it's in the orange level of this. So every island within 2 hexes of her, which is right now this one, she's going to kill all of the goats on it, and all goat settlements, and all canoes that are adjacent to the island. Right now, that is going to have no effect on me whatsoever. So I'm looking at this straight away and I'm thinking, well, we kind of want to keep the gods happy, because if the gods ever get really, really angry, you lose the game. But actually, if I don't do anything with this, I mean, if I do anything with this, all it does is reduce the impact. But her power is not going to affect me. Then we're going to have the conquistadors. So the white conquistador ship is here. That's going to land on the nearest island, which is this one. It's going to attack all of the settlements, which there aren't any, and then it will conquer its own, set up its own fort. So if I don't do anything, that's what it's going to do. Then we have the grey ship. Where's the grey ship? Now I rolled dice to determine where these started. Here. That is going to go for that one or this one are the nearest, and it will go for this one because this is the settlement. So I know at the end of the age this settlement is going to get attacked, which means I need 2 people in there and 2 weapons to fight them off. I currently don't have that. So at the moment, that's going to impact me at the end of the age. Then the black ship is going to come in. Where have I put it? I can't see it. It's black. It's there. Right. Oh, we got 4 islands that are all equidistant. So it's going to go for the one with the most settlements. Now, assuming that one hasn't been captured by this one, I'm going to get attacked again. So right now I'm going to get attacked by 2, which means I need 4 weapons at the end of this age. Wow. Then we're going to have the volcano, right? Now the reason I'm going through all this now, this is what you need to do when you play the game. You need to work out what's going to happen at the end of the age in order to plan for it. This is a game where you hopefully see what's coming and you have to plan accordingly. So we're going to have the volcano. The volcano is here. All of these locations, by the way, were determined by this card here. And the volcano uses a Koran's Wrath power, which is orange, so it's 2. So we're going to have a volcano go off there, and all of this is going to become mountainous land. Now again, I'm looking at the board and I'm thinking, that's not actually a bad thing. That's not going to affect me too much. So I don't think I'm worried about that. And then finally we have a Koran's power. A Koran is down here, and what a Koran is going to do is going to send his wolves out. Tibicebus, I think it is. It's going to destroy half of the animals in the wilderness, which is a bit of a shame. But it's also going to kill all animals on islands within its impact range. And its impact range is actually right now just here. So it's only going to affect this island. So that's the situation. That's where we are at the start of the game. We've done all of the setup and we're now going to start playing. So basically in the solo game, I'm just going to take turns, one after the other. In the solo game, you start with 3 cubes and 2 cylinders. Each of these is an action marker and will allow you to perform an action. But if you use a cylinder, you get to do the action twice. The big difference is, with the cylinder, as well as getting to do the action twice, you lose that cylinder at the end of the age. Whereas a cube, you will get it back. So these are the actions that I can do at the start of the game. I can unlock more of them by taking more things from here. And these are the starting resources that I've got based on where I chose to start my settlements. That gave me these tiles, which gave me certain resources. So I'm basically just going to be taking actions one at a time until I decide that I'm not going to take any actions anymore. Then the age ends and we go through all of this. We need to feed our people. We need to shelter our people. Food that is perishable will perish. We then resolve the events and all sorts of other things. Right, are we ready? We're ready to dive in. They are not wasabi Jaffa cakes. I don't like wasabi. So, right. Oh, is that my punishment if I lose? Oh, my tribe power. Just so you know, my tribe power is at Ghana. And what this does is whenever I choose the explore, instead of getting to do it 3 times, I actually get to do it 4 times. And I start the game with a canoe. Now, I can put this canoe on the board as soon as I make my first sea movement. But that is my power at the start of the game. So, invent the fridge. Yes. Is that one of the options? I don't think it is. Now, I've actually been having a bit of a think about this. If we have a look at the gods, in age 1, you need to supply the leftmost 2 resources. You see here, the number 1 in the triangle? So that means in age 1, I need to provide 1 fish and 1 cereal, because it's 1 times the number of players in the game. Here, I need to provide 1 fig and 1 salt. Now, this is a particularly bad setup for me, because I don't know how to fish. This cube is still here. This means I don't know how to fish. And you can only learn a new trade at the end of the age. So I can't learn how to fish. So I can't get fish this age. Cereal, I don't have the technology to be able to get cereal, but I could develop it, and then I could get some. But figs, I can get figs. Salt, I can't get salt. Okay, so right now, looking at the 2 gods, I can't actually appease them. Now, I might still want to try, because as soon as I start, I get an idol. But we will see. We will see. As I say, I've never played the game. I've never played solo before. I've never played on medium difficulty. I'm very much looking forward to it. And let's see how it goes. What is the first action that I'm going to do? Well, I think... But I mean, these were randomly placed. It just so happens that they ended up right next to where I started. But one of the big things in this game is learning, gaining knowledge from other tribes, which is basically unlocking extra cubes on here, which will give you more actions. And I think I've worked out how I'm going to do that. My first action that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cube and I'm going to place it in the explore action. And that allows me, because of this, to do 4 movements. I'm going to do... right now, I had this worked out. I totally had it worked out. I add 1 to there. That's 1 movement. The noble is going to get on a boat and go all the way down to here. That is 2 movements. Now, I can't move this villager out of here, because otherwise the goats will run away and back into the wilderness. So I need to leave that one there. So I'm going to do 3. In fact, I'm going to do 3, moving those 2 from there to there, and 4, because I need some weapons. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So there's my 4 movements. At the end of the movements, we do all of the stuff. Now, the stuff in this game is basically I'm going to get these resource tiles. What have we got? We've got 2 stone and some obsidian. All right, I've got lots of stone. Okay, that's going to go there. Now, I have 3 tiles. Remember, I'm only allowed a maximum of 7. I'm now going to take this one, which is 3 clay. 2, 3. That's going to stay there, and that's going to stay there. Now, there is a dowry variant rule where you can spend any 3 resources to turn these villages into your own. The problem is if I do that, and I think I've got this right, and if Lolo is in the chat, you'll confirm this. If I choose the dowry option now and convert that villager into one of my own, I therefore don't learn from it. No, surely you must learn from it. I'm just going to check that in the rules. So the dowry, it is a variant compatible with the dowry. To perform it, the player must end the exploration of a noble, pay 3 resources of their choice, remove the neutral villager, and place a villager of their own where they have a native with the usual placement rules. Because the normal rules for the game is that you cannot have your villagers end their movement in a settlement which you don't have the trade for. So you're saying correct. You do not learn as the meeple is no longer there. That's the point. So if I go there and basically say, I'll give you some resources and that becomes mine, then at the end of the age, when I would normally get to learn from somebody else, I don't. So I'm not going to use the dowry option. That is my first action done. I've done 4 movements. I've got some resources. Now, the situation is I need 4 weapons to defend against this attack. So I'm not sure whether I should have done that. That might have been the wrong move because I need more of the obsidian. Or I kill the 2 goats to get the 2 goat horns. And it does seem a little early to kill the goats when I've got them and I would be breeding. But if I killed both of those goats, I could use their horns as weapons. And I know that I need my 2 weapons. I also know that I'm going to have to feed my people at the end. And at the moment I've got 3 people and I don't want to use this. So I don't have enough food to feed them. So we've got that situation as well. Anyway, my first action is done. What are we going to do for my second action? Is it going to be this? I think it is. Because I've got the clay, and we've also got these artisan cards, which I could buy these idols with. Now, that's a little bit random what I get. And this is assuming we're not going to bother sacrificing anything to the gods this turn at all. Which is a little concerning. Okay, if I move again... No, I want to stay there. I want to learn this stuff. I could go here. I could get this. That might be enough. Okay, my second action is I'm going to develop. And we're going to develop. And we're going to use a cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to develop this action here. So I'm going to place this cylinder on this space here. You can only put 1 marker on each of these actions. But because I've used a cylinder, I get to do the whole action twice, which is develop. So my first development is going to cost me a wood and a stone. So I spend a wood, spend a stone, and develop that. And then my second development is going to be to spend 2 stone and develop that. Now I've got these. These are additional action markers, and I don't need to do that again. I don't need to develop that again. I've done all of this. So that is that action done. Now I kind of want to produce... But I've only got... This is actually a terrible action. If I produce right now, I don't have any people in here. So that's terrible. I don't want to do that. I need to build another one. Where are we going to build the other one? I thought this was going to be easy. It's not. It's an interesting puzzle about how... you use your actions to try and do what you want to do. And if you saw Friday's playthrough, we were really concentrating on these. And right now I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm not really bothered about these 2 for age 1. I'm going to focus more on learning more trades. And you don't have to use all your action markers. You probably want to, but you don't have to. So I think I'm going to get it out of the way. I am going to develop here as well. So I'm going to spend a clay and a stone, and I'm going to develop that. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, I've got the 2 skills that I need in order to complete the mission. As long as I make some cheese and some roasted wheat by the end of the game, then I've achieved that particular goal. We have got to survive for 3 ages, which is going to need a cup of tea. Right, next action. I think we need to move again, because I need to get these back in here so they can start producing figs, so they can then convert the cereal into roasted wheat. Yes. Now, am I going to move more than once? I think I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a cylinder. So the movement, this action here, is the only one that you can do multiple times in a turn from your player board. So this time I'm going to use a cylinder. That means I do 4 movements because of my tribe power, and then after I've done all of that, I get 4 movements again. Do the gods get more angry if you don't offer them anything? Well, yeah. So here's the thing with the gods. If you fully meet their requirements, this drops down by 1. If you do not meet their requirements in full, it goes up by 1. So it doesn't matter that I don't provide any whatsoever. That's exactly the same negative impact as if I had provided some, but not all. So yeah, it's gonna go up by 1, even if you partially meet their requirements. So that's why I'm thinking of this age just going, gods? What gods? Who are you? And that's only because of where they came out. If that had been different, I would have been taking a totally different approach in this game. Anyway, 4 movements. I shouldn't have done that. That was a waste. That was an absolute waste. So 4 movements are going to be 1, 2, 3. Do we need the clay? I'm already concerned about the number of tokens that I can pick up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I also need fire for the end of the age. I really need fire for the end of the age as well. Do we want to... Do we want to get some more of that clay? Yes, I do. So there's my 4 movements. At the end of those 4 movements, we resolve the things. I get 3 clay. And we get... It's 3 stone. No! Didn't want that. Okay, we've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just to let you know, I have taken 6 of these tiles, and I'm only allowed to take 7 in total for the whole game. Uh-oh. Okay, so the range pool, yellow is range 1, orange is range 2, and there are 2 orange spaces. Range 3 is the red. So if I don't meet their requirements this age, it's going to go up to there, but that's still orange. It's still only range 2. Yes, the artisan market does have more idols. Yes. And thankfully, because I've just got the stone, I am able to buy those things. And that's what we might be doing, actually. Anyway, that was my first set of 4 movements. My second set of 4 movements is actually just that. Okay. So there are other actions you can take in the game, which is the artisan market to get idols. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I have all of this clay and all of this stone, and I don't think I'm going to make use of it. So I am going to spend 2 clay and 2 stone. Now this still counts as an action, but it doesn't cost a cube or anything like that. I'm going to buy this one. So this is basically, I get an idol. Now these were shuffled at the start of the game, but I'm going to shuffle them again. And there are certain idols that I've taken out. There are idols that are only used in the competitive version of the game. I've taken them out. So this is the idol that I've got. Now, this allows me to build a wall, either when I'm taking an action or in the event phase, or I could actually sell the idol and get any one resource of my choice. So I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to keep that there for now. I'll keep it face up. That could actually be quite useful for me, to be honest. And I'm tempted to buy another idol, because getting one resource of my choice... Oh no, we need to do this. Okay, We need to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to choose the produce action, and I'm going to use a cylinder. So the way that it works, the produce action, is you follow through these steps from top to bottom as far as you've got unlocked. Because I've unlocked all 3 of them, I get to do all of these 3 things. And then because I used a cylinder, I get to do them all again. So the first one is, for every goat that I have, I get 1 milk. I have 2 goats, I get 2 milk. I may then choose to kill any number of goats, I choose not to. I then can convert any number of milk into cheese, I choose not to. Now we go round the loop again. I've got 2 goats, but this time I'm going to kill both the goats. So I'm going to remove the goats from the board. Sorry about that, Billy. And for every goat I remove, I get horns, which count as weapons. And also, I've run out of discs, so I need to use my little multiplier tokens. Where are my multiplier tokens? They're here. I'll put them on there. So I've also got 2 goat's meat. Now that's going to perish. If you look carefully, you'll see some of the spaces have this icon on. That means they're going to perish. And if there's a number in a heart, that's the amount of food that it provides. So I've got 2 horns, 2 goat meat. I'm now going to spend 1 wood to convert any number of milk into cheese. So I've got 5 milk, I get 5 cheese. Not quite as many cheese as I had on Friday night. Okay, and cheese doesn't perish. Well, no, sorry, cheese does perish. Anything over 3 perishes. So actually, I need to be very careful because I only need 3 food. I'm going to get a lot of wastage here, and waste is bad. In fact, no, I'm going to breed, so I'm going to end up with 4. Oh, actually, this is quite bad. Now, I'm allowed to have 1 spoilage. In a solo game, you can only have 1 spoilage. Anything above 1, an occurrence starts to get unhappy. Oh, dear, dear, dear. What we're going to do here, I've overproduced too much. But I needed to kill the 2 goats in order to get the 2 horns. Okay, so what I can do is I will just convert 3 of that milk into cheese, and I'll keep that there. Okay, because there's the 4 food. Yeah, we're okay. He says. And I've got 3 cheese for the future. Okay, that is my production. I've still got 3 actions left, one of which is a cube, so I should use it. And I think at some point I'm going to have to build this cave. So I'm going to do it now. Once in the game you can build a cave. It costs a wood, a clay and a stone. So I'm going to do that now before I forget. A wood, a clay and a stone. I've built a cave, so I now have a capacity for 7 people. And I think that might be it. Is there anything else I want to do? I could produce, that would give me 2 figs, but I don't need the food. Right now, I don't need the food. I do have the weapons. I was potentially going to buy another idol, but I can't now. Resource management, it's very much resource management. Yes, and it is definitely about surviving. I'm not really seeing a farming-y element. I mean, there is a little bit, but it's not... Yeah, I wouldn't have said this is a farming game. I think we're done. Unless I've messed this up completely, I think we are done for the first age. Right, let's see what happens. So, at the end of the age, we're going to go through these 10 steps here. The first step is breeding. Breeding takes place everywhere in the game. First of all, in the wilderness. If there are 2 or more animals in the wilderness, we get another pig and we get another goat. Okay, so that's that. The next thing we look at is we look at the board. If there's anywhere where there's 2 villagers of the same colour, you get a 3rd one. And the conquistadors also breed. Pesky conquistadors. Going to have to sort them out at some point. So that's breeding done. Step 2 is we need to feed our people. So I now have 4 people on the board. The nobles don't count. The nobles feed themselves because they're probably vampires. Don't tell them I said that. So I need to provide 4 food worth of stuff. Milk counts as 1 food, and goat meat counts as 1 food. Okay, and that's good because that was all going to spoil, which is the next stage. But if I didn't feed all of my people, the wrath of my neighbour would go up by 1. Now I need to do spoilage. I have no spoilage on my board, so we're okay. So a Corin is not unhappy. Now, if I had more than 4 people and I didn't have a cave, the excess would die, and who's that? Maniba would get unhappy. Now we look at the gods. So, did I bother offering anything to the gods this turn? I did not. So what happens is their wrath goes up by 1. And now we are going to resolve these events from left to right. So first of all, it is Maniba. Maniba is going to do the twister, and it is a range of 2. So from her, you look at all islands within range of 2, which is just this one. But even if 1 hex would have been within her impact area, it would have affected the entire of that island. So she kills all goat herds and all canoes, and that's it. So there's a big twister here, whatever, no effect. Next, we do the white conquistador ship. So this is the white conquistador ship. The nearest island is this one. There is no tiebreak. There's no settlements there. So what it does is the conquistadors establish a settlement on forest. Loki has just walked in the room. Expect some meows any minute. There you go. See? On cue. So that's conquistadors. They have arrived there. Oh. Do you want to come up? Yeah, the microphone's in the way. You coming up? He's thinking about it. Come on. Yeah? No? Yes? You know you want to. Come on. Oh, hang on. He's got the whole microphone stuck around his body. Come here, you. Oh, dear. Right. What's he done? Are we back on? Yeah, so Loki had the microphone tangled round his leg. So I was very concerned because he was actually pulling all of the cables. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yes, right. I was a little bit worried about that for a minute. Where are we up to? Feeding? No, that's it. So we've done Maniba's Wrath. We've done the white conquistador ship. Now we're doing the grey conquistador ship. So we look for which islands are the nearest. This one and this one. But the tiebreak is the number of settlements, which is this one. So the grey conquistador ship, and these, by the way, these come in nice little standees. But obviously for the playthrough with an overhead camera, I'm not using them in the standees. I've just got them lying down on the table. But they do look very nice with the standees. So it's attacking this island, and it attacks every settlement on the island. But I have, it's always 2 conquistadors that are attack. I'm going to spend 2 goat horns to fight them off. I've defeated them, and I actually put them in my prison. Yes, catastrophe avoided. Very, very good. Very good. Right, so that's that one done. Then we get the black conquistador ship, which is exactly the same process again. All these 4 islands are equidistant. This is the one with the most settlements. So this is the one that gets attacked, but thankfully I have 2 obsidian. I fight off the conquistadors, and I capture 2 more of them. Now, you might wonder why I am capturing conquistadors in my prison. Well, the gods like human sacrifices. So whenever I'm doing any offerings to the gods, I can use conquistadors as if they were wildcards. So that is very much a benefit of doing that. Plus, I didn't want to lose my settlement. Right, that's all of the ships attack. Now we do the volcano. So the volcano is based on a Corin's Wrath level. A Corin's Wrath level is 2. So here we go. We have a size 2 volcano that goes off here. So those are all destroyed. This is a very cool part of the game. This is mountains don't flip over. This is possibly my favourite bit of the game, is the way that the board changes based on what's coming out. And yeah, I had a size 3 volcano the first time I played, which was pretty massive. So you don't put volcanoes on the chasms. But if you'll notice, what's happened is we have 1 island that is now a lot bigger than it used to be. So 3 islands have now merged into 1. And, we need another piece. Need another piece there. And what we do is we take these other resources, which are these grey mineral deposits, and we pop these out. Now I can't really take many of these because I'm almost at my limit. But there we go. We've got a big volcano on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I've done that right. Okay. Mountains don't flip over. Yes. So that is the volcano. Next we have a Corin. A Corin is down here. And what a Corin is doing is killing half of the animals in the wilderness. So those 2 pigs die. and those 2 goats die. And then he kills all of the animals on this island because it's within range 2. But there's no animals on the island, so everything's okay. That is the end of the events. And then what we do is we do learning. So this is possibly my favourite rule in the entire game. In so many of these games where you have technology tracks, you just spend an action to learn a new technology, or you play a card, or you whatever. In this game, you cannot, if you don't know how to fish, you can't just spend resources to learn how to fish. What you have to do is you have to find another player in the game who knows how to fish. You need to send your noble to that settlement, and at the end of the age, you learn how to fish from them, which I think is a brilliant rule. And that's what happens, is this noble is going to learn how to fish from this one, and this noble is going to learn how to do pig farming. What that means is I take these 2 cubes, I remove them from my player board, I've got 2 extra action markers, but also these have been unlocked. I can now do that stuff if I want to. Right, the next thing that happens is we check to see if the game is over. If any of the God's Wrath level is reached the top, or I don't have a noble and a villager on the board, the game is over. Then what we do is we do the sacrificing. So, oh dear. I'm in trouble. Right, this hasn't happened before. Now, when we set up the game, we saw this card, we saw this card, and we saw this card. That is because for age 1, you see all of the cards. However, those have now gone. Age 1 is over. Those have gone. For age 2, we have to provide fire to our seers in order for them to be able to see the future and see what's going to happen. And in order to do that, you need to spend 2 resources that can be used to generate fire, which is manure, wood, or wheat. And if you look at your player board, you will see that those resources have those icons. So there's the manure icon, there's the wheat icon, there's the wood icon. If you, so there's 2 seers. If you sacrifice, if you give enough stuff to provide fire for one of the seers, you can choose to look at either those 2 cards or that card. If you provide enough fire for both seers, you get to look at everything. So we have a choice here. I only have 1 wood and 1 wheat. So I'm actually going to spend that. I'm going to spend the 1 wood and the 1 wheat. We're going to make a fire for one of the seers, but which one? I don't know. Basically, I can either look at A, both of those cards, or B, that card, which is basically, do I want to know exactly what's going to happen, or do I want to know where it's going to happen? And I think I'd prefer to know where it's going to happen. So those 2 resources that I just spent, I put on there. Okay? And at the start of the next age, that is where we'll do the prophesizing. Oh dear. Right, step 10 is turn order passes, which it doesn't in a solo game. So we are done. That is the end of the first age. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the setup for the next age. So we always reveal the event card, so we know what's happening. And we're going to get rid of these 2 to see what the gods want this turn. Now, this turn, we're using the first 3 spaces. See the number 2 in the triangle? So we're using so a Koran wants 1 fish, 1 pig, and 1 salt. And Maniba wants 1 fig, 1 pork, and 1 salt. This is not going to happen. Although I do have all of these conquistadors, which I could quite easily sacrifice. Right, now, we know what's going to happen. We know the events. We're going to have a tidal wave first. And now, but we don't know where. Oh, no, so I'm going to choose to look at this card. So remember, I can either look at those 2, or I can look at this one. And I'm going to look at this one. Yeah, right. So age 2, tidal wave on 7. So the first thing that's going to happen in the event phase is we're going to get a tidal wave, and it's coming in on 7, which is here. Now a tidal wave basically buries the land in water, and it's based on Maniba's Wrath. Maniba's Wrath is currently 2. So at the moment, if nothing changes, we're going to lose most of this island. But that's fine. It could have been a lot worse. That could have been there, or there, and that might have been terrible. Okay. That's fine. The next is a Koran. Now a Koran, we know where a Koran is coming in. A Koran's coming in on location 2, which is mountain number 2. Can't say mountain number 2. Oh, mountain number 2 is where the volcano was. So a Koran is coming in here. Now we don't know what a Koran's going to do. We know he's coming in here, We don't know what he's going to do. And the problem is, this is all one island. Maniba. Maniba is coming in on island number 1. And again, we don't know what she's going to do. Then we're going to have the white ship followed by the grey ship. And we're going to have the black one as well. Oh, we're going to get another volcano. Whose decision was it to play on the medium difficulty level? Was that mine? I think it might have been. So we have the white ship on 2. We have the grey ship on 3. This is going to go very badly wrong. Oh dear, dear, dear. And then we got a volcano on 8. Right, okay. Maniba goes on island 3. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Island 3. It's the middle column. So Maniba's on island 3. That's worse for me, isn't it? Yeah, Maniba on island 3. Tidal wave on 7. Acheron on 2. And the volcano on 8. And we don't know what they're going to do. Now, at the moment, with the version that I've got of the game, there are only 5 of these cards out there. So once you know the game, you do kind of have an idea of what kind of things they're going to do. But I think we're in trouble. Now, I mentioned cylinders. If you use them, they disappear, but the cubes come back. So if we look at how many actions I've actually got, I have a lot of actions possible for this turn. But if we look at how many of these I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can only take 1 more deposit tile from the board. Right. I don't know what to do now. I mean, I don't really want them to get any angrier. Because if they do, it's going to go to the red. Red is a range of 3. That is really bad. But also, I don't want it to go above that. And my worry is that if I get it into the red, it's not going to take much to go to the top. And at that point, it's game over. So I think my overall plan for this turn is to appease the gods by going to a volcano, throwing in some conquistadors as human sacrifices in place of the resources that I don't have. Now, I don't have fish, I don't have pigs, I don't have salt. I can get figs, I don't have pork, and I don't have salt. I only have 4 conquistadors, I need 6. Now, you can attack the conquistadors, but I need weapons. I don't have any weapons. Oh dear, right, okay. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is brilliant. It's such a puzzle. And because of the variety of these cards and these, it's going to be different every game. And there's different ones of these cards as well. So, if I had any animals on the board, they would have bred. But I didn't. Now, I can go in and track... Oh, I can't. In a solo game, in a cooperative game, you cannot take the last animal from the wilderness. I'm just going to put them before so you can easily see them. If I can attack a fort, if I can take on, kill 2 more conquistadors, I can sacrifice all 6. That's everything met. That would be great. But I have no weapons and I have no goats, which means I need obsidian. And I'm only allowed to take 1 more resource tile. Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have played on medium difficulty. Wow. My resources have gone so quick. I think we need to be building some settlements. That's what we need to be doing. Now, I have a question for Lolo. Because I can only take 7 of these tiles, am I allowed to build a settlement in a hex, even if it still has a tile on it, and I think I just lose the tile? Let me know if that's correct, because otherwise, I'm even more stuck. Yeah, I am pretty badly stuck. Now, I've got this. I can throw this away for any 1 resource I need at any time. And by doing the sacrificing, that's going to get me 2... It's going to get me 2 idols, which I can throw away, and that could give me the weapons. That could be a weapon. Could be a weapon. Okay, you're saying no. So I cannot build a settlement if there is a tile already there. Or that's even worse. This means I can't build settlements anywhere. Oh, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble in Little Canary Islands. Yeah, it must be collected first. Oh, it is in the rules. Pesky rules. I don't quite know what I'm going to be able to do. Because there isn't many places where there aren't resources. I can pick up one more resource. And that's it. It's probably going to be a forest. Because then I can build... Oh, if I had the 3 weapons, I could go there. I could take that out. That's a forest. Oh, if I had 2 weapons, I could go there. That's a forest. I could do that. If I had the 2 weapons. How do I get the 2 weapons? I don't think I can. I mean, I could go and collect one of these in the hope that there is some obsidian. You would think that there's obsidian in places that's fallout from a volcano. You'd think that, wouldn't you? There's got to be. Surely there's got to be. Okay. Otherwise, how do I get weapons? I mean, I can build settlements here. I know we can do that. That's going to get me fish. I mean, you need nobles to build settlements, but it's doable. It's absolutely doable. The whole dowry thing I'm not going to do now. They're owned by somebody else. So, I think we're going to move. And I'm going to move with... It's going to be a cube. A cube is going to use to move. So I've got 4 movement points. Yeah, sacrificing first would give me an idol. Yeah, I mean, I could. This is what I'm thinking of doing. I might end up having to sacrifice again. So it's the order in which we do it. So my first movement is going to be this noble onto the volcano and this villager into here. Now I can do that. I can leave this. This is no longer under my control, but because there's no animals there anymore, I can just walk away from here and it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's 2 movements. My third movement is this noble's going to get on his boat. Where am I actually trying to go? Who did this map lay out? I need to get here. Okay, that's fine. Third movement to there. And then 4th movement to there. Okay, so there's my 4 movements. Now, you do all of the stuff, you collect the resources. What have we got? What have we got? It's 3 obsidian. Get in. Right, well that changes everything. That absolutely changes everything now. We've got 3 weapons. Oh, yes. And we're going to do some sacrificing. So, I'm going to sacrifice. It's going to be the 4 conquistadors. Yeah, because I have none of the resources that they need. So it's going to be a pig, a salt, some pork, and some salt. Now, because I was the first player to offer to this, I get an idol, and over here I get an idol as well. So I get 2 more idols. Okay, we've got that one and that one. I need to look at what that one does, because that's a new one for me. All the idols are fully explained on the back of the rulebook, and it is fertility. Reproduce your villagers or livestock. Okay, that's no good because I haven't got any livestock. And this one is the one that Rob played against us. Move the Akoran or Maniba standee to another volcano, modifying the origin of the catastrophe, which is amazing. So I could just move Akoran from there to over there, but I can do that in the events phase. So I can do that once we have revealed what Akoran is. I can move it. But the important thing is, I've got the weapons. I've started doing the sacrificing. we're okay. We've got out of the bad situation that we're in. That is my first action. Oh no, I'm establishing a settlement. So whenever your noble is in a place that you have the trade skill for, you can establish a settlement. So we have a fishing settlement there. Oh, but that means that I'm going to get attacked by this twice. I forgot about the conquistadors. Oh, I'm in massive trouble. If I thought I was in trouble before, multiply that by 5. Because I'd forgotten about the conquistadors. Oh dear. Does the breeding affect the wilderness as well? No, this one only affects mine. Unfortunately. Make sure you remove the arms. The idle hands are the devil's workshop. Very, very good, Matt. Oh, I love it. Matt's good with his puns. Oh dear. Right, where are we now? I'd forgotten about the conquistadors. I had it all under control. I'm going to lose everything. We need to go somewhere else, but we can't go somewhere else. So, I was planning on getting those weapons and using them to fight off, to attack these conquistadors. I now have a new plan, which is let the Wookiee win. No, that doesn't work. Basically, allow the conquistadors to attack me. I'm going to need so many. That's not mine. I can lose that one. That's okay. But here, I mean, I could just move out. If I move out, I don't have to defend. Oh, this is tricky. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I need 1 fig and 1 fish. And I want to develop this, but I don't have any wood. And I can't get any wood because I'm now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh no, I took that one. Yeah, I've now got 7 tiles. So I can't do any more gathering of resources. 7 is a massive limit. Do the gods ever do helpful stuff? I'm afraid not. The gods are just about causing catastrophes. This feels like a massive step up in difficulty from easy. A massive step up. Okay. I'm just going to cover these spaces to remind me that we don't need to do those. It's a shame because I've got the cheese. Oh, I need the wood. I'm going to have to use these idols as resources. That's what I'm going to have to use them for. But that's fine. That's probably the best use for them. Is there a way of discarding tiles? No, I'm afraid not. Oh, we also have a volcano. Yeah, forgot to mention, but there's a volcano here. That's going to get rid of these. So those conquistadors, I'm not worried about those because they're going to get blown up by that volcano. Okay, so I've only done one action and I'm now stuck. We don't want to do this anymore because I don't have any goats. So forget that. That's rubbish. We can't really build any other settlements anywhere? No, I think we're going to have a fairly short era. How am I going to feed my people? It's going to have to be the cheese. Okay, so, action. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am doing this. And am I doing it twice? Yes, I'm doing it twice. So I am going to produce using this action here. So for every villager that I have on a crop settlement, I'm going to get 1 fig. I have 2 villagers on this crop settlement here, which means I get 2 figs. Then, for every settlement that I have, for every crop settlement I have, I get 1 of those and 1 of those. I get 1 of those and 1 of those. Then, do I want to convert any of the cereal into roasted wheat? No, because I haven't got any wood. And then we do the whole thing again because I used a cereal. So actually, I've got 4 of them, 2 of them, and 2 of them. So that's not too bad. I'm happy with that. That's a fairly good action. And there's the figs that I need to do the sacrificing again. Okay. Next, we could just produce, and I could get the salt. This is where I can get the salt from. this might work. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use a cube to develop my fishing knowledge. To do that, I need a wood and a clay. I don't have a wood, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this idol. So it's actually in action. So my first action is I'm going to sell this idol to get any resource I want. That's going to get me the wood. That sold idol is gone. Then what I do is I then do the develop action, spend the wood and the clay to develop that. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce, and I'm going to produce twice with a cylinder. So for every villager that I have on a fishing settlement, you know what I'm tempted to do? I'm tempted to move. No, I'm just going to produce, so I've got one villager on a fishing settlement, so I get one fish. Then for every fishing settlement I've got, I get one salt. Now, I could convert the fish into smoked fish, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm now going to go through the in fact I can't, because that technology is locked. I'm going to go through the whole thing again, so I get another one of those, and another one of those. Okay, so we're okay now. We've got the fish, we've got the figs. I can go back and do some more sacrificing, and that is the gods completely appeased. I have the salt's not going to go off. I have 2 wheat, which can be used for a prophecy thing at the end of the age. I've got 3 weapons, which is enough to fight off one of the conquistadors, and I could throw one of these away for another one. So that's all looking good, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know. Is it? Is it not? Right, we're going to move again. So I'm going to use a cube. I've got one movement, which is 4 movement points. Now, I'm tempted on leaving this settlement alone because otherwise I'm going to need the weapons to fight off the conquistadors. I might as well let them land, take the settlement, and then attack them back when I want to. Do I want to do that? Is it the same? What I'm worried about is this conquistador here is going to attack. No, in fact, these 2 conquistadors here, they're both going to attack this island. And as long as I don't have a settlement on this island, I mean, I've got a settlement here, but that's not mine. And that's not mine. So these conquistadors are going to take over these settlements. I have a wall as well. The walls, oh yes, walls. You're absolutely right. Walls, if you've got a wall, then a conquistador attack is ignored. Thank you, Paul. I'd forgotten about that because we haven't used walls in any of the previous videos. So that will protect one of my cities from the conquistadors. Now, I don't defeat them. They just run away. They see the wall because they're scared of walls. So they run away, which means I don't defeat them, which means I don't get them in the prison, which means I can't sacrifice them to the gods. Fascinating. Right, what are we going to do? That boat's in the wrong place. And I can't build another one because I haven't got any wood. So, who's going to do the sacrificing? The offering. I think, and I've not done this before, but I think this is allowed. I think I'm going to use my 4 movements. I'm going to go 1, 2, because you can only do optional actions after you've moved a piece. So if this piece stays on the volcano, I can't do any offerings. But if I move them, 1, 2, I can now do offerings at the end of that movement. So that's 1, 2. Three, we're going to leave the settlement. Do we do that? Oh. If I keep the settlement, it gets attacked. I can use the wall to fight them off. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so that one's going there. So that's 3. I've got 1 movement left. Where can this noble go, which is going to be of any use whatsoever? Because I could send them there now to that, but I don't want to do that. I'm trying to think what that noble can be used for? Establishing other settlements? There's nowhere I can build because I'm not allowed to take these resources. This is so hard. This is so much harder than the multiplayer game. And I need to wait to see what that flood's going to do. I mean, it's going to be 2. We know it's going to be 2. We know that's going to be 2. So I think that's probably it. I think that's probably it. Yeah, I didn't really do very much. But we are now sacrificing or offering. We're going to offer some figs and some fish. Look at that. They're done. We've kept the gods super, super happy. Is there any other actions that I want to do this turn? I don't know whether there is. I mean, I've got these 2 cubes and it seems a waste not to use them. But there isn't really anything that I can do. I'm not seeing anything that I can do. Because I can't produce, because I haven't got any of these, so that wouldn't do anything. I can't produce here. I can't develop here. I can't develop here. I can't develop there because I've already done it. I haven't got enough resources to buy one of those. I think I might be done. This feels weird. It feels like I haven't really done very much. But I think this is going to be it. I think that is the end of the age for me. Okay, here we go. Breeding. So, those conquistadors breed, those conquistadors breed. I get another villager here. Okay, animals in the wilderness breed. We get another pig, we get another goat. Now that changes things. Because one thing you haven't seen in this game is your nobles can go into settlements and can attract animals, but they attract 2 at a time. And you, in the alliance game, in the cooperative game, you cannot deplete the wilderness of one type of animal. So with only 2 in there, that's why I wasn't doing anything. Third age is going to be fun. Yes, I think the third age, it might all go wrong. Although it might all go wrong here because we don't know what these gods are doing. And if that's what I think it might be, you are in for an absolute treat. And you might see me cry. Which I've only ever done once on camera before. Okay, let's go for it. Feeding people. I now have 5 people to feed. The fish is going to go off. The figs are going to go off. So that's 4. I'm going to eat some cheese. 5, 6. It's actually 6, but it's fine. You can overfeed. So we're done. Spoilage. I have no spoilage. Nothing goes off. We're okay. Okay, so the gods. This moves down 1, which means their needs are met. Okay. Now, one misunderstanding that I had when I first played the game is I thought once you've appeased the gods, this effect doesn't happen. That's not true. This effect will always happen, but it just depends on the wrath level. So the wrath levels have gone. We've done that. And now we're going to do the event. So first of all, we do the tidal wave. So the tidal wave is happening here, and it's based on Maneba's wrath value, which is orange, which is 2. So what we have is basically that. Okay, tidal wave, it's a tsunami. That's taken all of that. It doesn't cover volcanoes. And in fact, anybody on a volcano is still alive. So that's that done. We've lost that part of the map. Next, we do Acheron. So we don't know what Acheron's power was. Is there a limit to how many conquistadors there are on the map? Only at the end of the game. So at the end of the game, at the moment, I've got 5 villages on the map. Hang on, how can that get up to 9? Oh, because of the 2 other ones. Yeah, so at the moment, there are 7 villages on the map. There can be no more than 8 conquistadors at the end of the game. So, we're now going to reveal the god. And it is drought. So Acheron is not happy, even though he's had his fish. And he's caused a drought. So remove the crops from the islands within its impact area. All natives in these settlements die. Okay, so where is Acheron? Oh, no. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Acheron is here. His impact, his threat, his, what's it called? Wrath level is 2, but it's basically this island. So on this island there is a drought. All crop settlements are removed. All natives in them are killed. But if you have manure, you can save the settlements. But there's no effect. No effect whatsoever. Excellent. Right, we're all good. Next is Maniba's power. So Maniba is locusts. Now this is within range 2 of where Maniba is, which is here. Now that's going to kill that. So I think at this point... Now I could use fire. Oh, I could use fire to... Oh, but then if I use that fire, I don't have the other fire. I think I might just use this card. Yeah, I think we're going to use this card, which I can use in the event phase. Oh, I should have revealed both of them at the start. Okay, we're going to move Maniba to here. And then what she's going to do is she's going to cause the locusts here, but they don't have any effect. Okay, so that's that card gone. Now you do keep used idols, although in this game it doesn't actually matter because they're not going to be a scoring condition. Right, now we have the conquistadors. So first of all, we have the white conquistador ship, which is here. It attacks the nearest island, which is this one, and it attacks all settlements on this island. Now that's that one, which isn't mine anymore, so that becomes a conquistador settlement. And unfortunately, it's going to attack that one. Now that one is the other dummy player. So I could either build a wall on it or move to it where 2 of my people have weapons. So unfortunately, that's been killed, and that has become a conquistador fort. Oh dear. We are in big trouble. Okay. Done. That's the white conquistador ship done. Now we do the grey conquistador ship, which is here. Is this what I wanted to do? Oh, it's too late now. So it's going for this one. It's attacking both settlements. I'm going to use the wall to defend one of the settlements, this one. And in the other settlement, I'm using 2 obsidian to fight off the conquistadors, who I kill and put in my prison. So that's that done. Maniba's done. Acheron's done. And then the black conquistador attacks this island. Now, there are no settlements on this island. So what happens is the conquistadors set up a fort, and they always set up a fort first in a forest, and there's only 1 forest left. Wow, look at this. They're absolutely spreading like conquistadors. Do the gods affect the conquistadors? Usually, yes. But conquistadors don't have settlements. There is one of Acheron's cards, which is like a demon, and it kills all people on the island, except for conquistadors, because conquistadors don't believe in that particular demon. So that's quite cool, thematically. Right, we're done with that. We're done with that. Oh, I should have done the volcano first. Yeah, hang on. I should have done the volcano before I did the black one. So that hasn't happened yet. We might be in more trouble than I thought. Yeah, we're in big trouble. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to undo it. But I could have prevented this. Anyway, I forgot to do the volcano first. The volcano is level 2. So we have another volcano going off here. So it's going to remove that. It's going to remove that. This is crazy. We need some more tiles. Let's get some more tiles. The reason why it's crazy is we now have one big island. I mean, does the game come with enough tiles? Yes, it does. Just. Okay, what else have we got? We got another one there. And another one there. This is only age 2. Okay, now we're going to have to populate this with tokens, and I'm not sure we've got enough of them. I'm going to check the chat to make sure I'm doing it right. Sometimes death is sweet. Oh, thanks very much for that. So, yeah, we're going to populate all of these with new stuff, but I'm not sure we have enough tiles. Let's have a look. Because if you run out, you use some of the original ones. But even then, I still don't think we've got enough. So let me know what I'm supposed to do when I run out of tiles. Let's see what the rulebook says. Volcano. Here we go. Eruption. Use those from the reserve if you run out. If there's not enough, place the ones closest to the epicenter first at the circle where they run out. The player with priority chooses. Right, okay, so yeah, I think we have run out. We don't have any more. So we were supposed to place them nearest the epicenter first. And we'll just put that one there. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Oh yeah, I can't take them. It's a very good point. I'm not allowed to say that. It's because I can establish settlements where there are no resource tiles. I can establish settlements, but I can't establish them on here. That seems a very punishing rule, that. But that's the rule. Okay, so that was a volcano. So now this is why it's a problem, is because these black conquistadors now attack this island. And they attack every settlement on this island, which unfortunately is that one and that one. Now this one I can defend myself, but this one I can't defend myself. So they capture that settlement and I lose that person. So that's very, very bad. Okay? And I think that's the events. Oh dear. Right. Now what we do is learning. There's nothing to learn. Am I dead? No, I'm not dead. Do I want to sacrifice? Yes, we're going to use 2 wheat. Oh, I should have taken those 2 off. We are going to put some of those in just so we get some idea of what's going to happen. And that is the end of the second age. So things are not looking good for us at the moment. Yeah, things are looking a bit tricky. Let's just check our victory conditions. First of all, we need to end the game with 3 different non-perishable goods. I have some salted pork, I have some cheese, and as long as I get 1 idol, I can sell that idol to get either some roasted wheat or some salted fish. Right? So we could possibly do that one. However, this is the big problem. At the moment... Oh, I didn't do breeding. Did I do breeding? Oh yes, I did breeding. Right. At the moment, there are only 5 villages on the board. Which means there can be a maximum of 6 conquistadors at the end of the game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's going to be more. So we're currently losing the game because we've lost control of the archipelago because there's too many conquistadors on the board. That's where we are at the moment, and we're not even into age 3. So, age 3, I'm going to put those on, just to have a look at the cards. It's this one. So in age 3, you don't need to provide the thing on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cover that up with a token, just to remind me that we don't need to provide that. But I need to provide 1 obsidian, 1 goat meat, 1 roasted wheat, 1 pig, 1 goat meat, and 1 smoked fish. If I don't, these 2 are going to go up, which is not going to lose me the game. So that is actually not my biggest problem. I have 6 natives. No. Oh, is it the number of natives? Oh, it is. It's the number of natives. Ah, right. And it's the number of my natives. Okay, I thought you were adding on the other players as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6. I can have a maximum of 7 conquistadors. I'm probably going to get 1 more. Yeah, okay. Right, these tiles are gone. These cards are gone. And now we get the 3rd and final event card. Now, I'm not looking forward to this. Oh, it's all 3 ships again. And again, because we only provided enough smoke for 1 seer, enough fire for 1 seer, we're going to use it, and we're going to have a look at this card again. Okay, and now we're looking at age 3. So Maniba, we don't know what Maniba's going to do, but she's going to do it here. Uh-oh. Are we going to have a tidal wave? We are having a tidal wave and it's going to happen on Island 1. Or, sorry, Chasm 1. Next, Acheron. Is Acheron going to happen? Yes, Acheron is coming in at 7. Volcano number 7. And finally, are we having a volcano? We are having a volcano. Are you sure this is the medium difficulty and not insanely hard? The volcano's happening on 2. Where's the previous volcano? There we go. Oh, we're having another volcano up there, so that's not going to affect anything. No. Oh, it might kill this one. Okay. So we've done that. We've done that. That card can go now. We've seen those. We don't need those again. And it is now my go. Okay, so what actions am I going to do? How am I going to survive this? The biggest problem right now is the Conquistadors, and I have no obsidian. So we're going to have to go sacrificing in order to get the idols, to get the obsidian that I need in order to fight more Conquistadors, to get more things to sacrifice. I think that's what we've got to do. I mean, I'm not really bothered about sacrificing, other than I need the idols because I can't pick up the resource tiles. Also, I need some roasted wheat by the end of the game. Now, there are some animals in the display. Right, so this does change things now, because if I can take on one of the Conquistadors' forts and wipe it out, then I can establish a trading settlement. That will get me... then I can attract some of the animals, because I'm then not depleting... Okay, this is what we're going to have to do. This is great. This is really, really good puzzle. And this puzzle would be similar if you were playing cooperative. So the cooperative game is pretty much everything that you're seeing here, except you don't have another player, and obviously you need more stuff here. Because it's one thing per player. Oh, hang on. I forgot. We got to roll for the boats. Again, just when I thought everything was under control, we have 3 boats arriving. So the white one is at 5, the grey one is at 5, and the black one is at 7. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not too bad, because this, and they both come on the same place, this is the nearest island. So that's fine. If I do nothing with these, they're going to go there and establish 2 forts. Oh, I say that's going to be 4 Conquistadors. So if I don't do anything, that's going to be 6 extra Conquistadors at the end of the game. There's no way I can do anything about that. No way. Right. Yeah, I just don't have enough weapons. So, here's what we're going to do. Where's the mountains? There. Oh, I can establish a settlement here, but I can't get my person in. I could also establish a goat herd here. Yeah, that's what we can do. We can absolutely do that. Right. First action is movement. I'm going to get 4 movements because of my special power. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to pick up the thing, so I'm just going to move to there. This poor villager is going to make the trek all across this volcanic region to here. So there you go. There's my 4 movement. Right. I am not going to pick up that resource tile. I am going to establish a settlement here. So this is going to be a goat herd. And one of the actions that you've not seen me do yet, this is an optional action, but you can attract, a noble can attract animals from the wilderness. And you take 2 of them, put them on here. You can't, in a cooperative game or the solo game, you cannot deplete the wilderness. So I've done that. Meanwhile, we are sacrificing. We've got 4 conquistadors. So what are we going to put on here? What things do I not think I'm going to be able to do? That one. That one. That one. And that one. That's going to get me 2 idles. One for that, one for that. Okay, this is important. Although I'm probably going to use these as just resources. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. That's an extra 2 movement. That allows me to remove 2 of these. That means I can take 2 more. But I might need to throw them away for the resources. This isn't over. This is not over. Right, what else are we doing? I think that's it. That's my first action. My 4 movement points have done. I've done some sacrificing. As long as I get 2 goat meat, although I don't need to. I only needed to do that. I'm not bothered if they go to there. But if they go to there, it goes down to wrath level 1. That's not going to affect her. So actually, I don't need to do any more offerings. Because it doesn't matter whether her wrath level is 1 or 2, it's still just that island. So how does the game scale in cooperative mode? Yeah, so the offerings are 1 per player, but you can see here the number of conquistadors that you need. The maximum number of conquistadors that you can have on the board is based on the number of players in the game and how many the total population of those are. Oh, wow. Right, let's just count the number of conquistadors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, interesting. So the rules are, this black conquistador ship is going to go for the nearest island. This is the nearest island, even though there's nothing on it. So this is another question for the designer. What happens to this black conquistador ship here? I'm just going to read, see if it's covered in the rules, because the rule book is pretty thorough with things. Conquistador ships, identify the island to be invaded, the nearest island. And I think this is still an island. I think, but maybe it's not. Because I don't think they can build settlements on volcanoes. So maybe they don't go there. Maybe they'd go here instead. That would be a problem if they went there. Yeah, so it's what's the definition of an island? Because I thought an island was a volcano and up to other things. Anyway, I'm not going to look it up in the rule book. I'll wait for the designer to let me know. Let me know what this black ship is doing. Because if this black ship is attacking here, it's game over. It's absolutely game over because I'm going to lose all of these settlements. So what do we need to do? We just need weapons. Yeah, I think we just need weapons. It goes to Volcano 7 but cannot settle. Okay, so this is good. So it does go to this island, but it can't settle. So that is good. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's going to be 14 conquistadors on the board at the end of this age. I'm going to have to kill 6 of them. There is no way I can kill 6 of them. Or is there? Okay, I'm going to do another movement action. No, I'm going to play this card. So this card removes 2 of my tokens. Right, now what happens is I can do a movement action and I can now go and get some more resources. So I'm going to send that one to there and I'm going to send I mean, we don't need this settlement, do we? Yeah, having more settlements is not necessarily a good thing. Unless it's a crop settlement or it's a fishing settlement, because then you get more stuff, but I don't need more stuff. I'm going there and I'm going there, and that's it. No, there and there. That's the only 2 movements I'm using. Right, so I get these 2 tiles. Let's see what we get. This is big. This is important. I keep missing the message that the volcano will do some of the work. Ah, right, yes. So that volcano, no, it's not actually going to do anything. No, that volcano is not going to kill any of the things. Yeah, because that volcano is going to be wrath level 1 or 2, so it's either going to be there or it's going to be there. So I'm not sure why that volcano is going to do something. I don't think it is. Oh, if it goes to red. Oh, right, hang on. Hang on. You're thinking that I deliberately make the god angry. Oh, you're onto something. So if we don't give him everything that he wants, he'll get a little bit angrier. If we then have spoilage, any more than one spoilage, and he's going to get angrier again. At that point, it's red. At which point, that has a range of 3. It's going to kill both of those. And this is why you're the designer of the game and I'm just the first time player. That is genius. Still doesn't change what I'm going to do. Oh, that's the worst thing ever. I've just gained 5 stone and 1 obsidian. That is not what we wanted at all. So I'm going to use an action to spend 3 stone to buy this artisan card, which gets me an idol. Now that idol allows me to make an offering to Maneba, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use that to throw away to get something else. Right, what have we got here? See, I can build permanent walls as well. Oh, permanent walls would actually be quite good. Didn't think about them, but I haven't got any wood. Okay, so that didn't work. We need stuff that's going to spoil, which means I need to produce. And I still need to feed my people. Right. Okay. We are going to double produce on goats. That gets me 4 milk. I then kill both the goats. I get 2 goat meat. And I've run out of discs. I get 2 goat horns. Okay, so let's look at the situation again now. I've got 4 milk. I've got 2 goat meat. That means I'm going to get spoilage. Acheron is going to get angry. I've got 2 goat horns here, which can be used as weapons, and I've got 1 obsidian here that can be used as a weapon. And I've still got 3 stone. Got 1 clay. Can't do anything with these. But I still need either smoked fish or roasted wheat, which means I'm going to have to use one of these cards to get one of those things, otherwise it's game over. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to use this card, I'm going to sell it just to get one of those, so that at least the mission has been completed. The biggest problem now is the conquistadors. But, thanks to some help from the chat, we're going to force a level 3 volcano. That's going to kill those off. Yeah. Okay. I've got enough weapons to attack 1 conquistador fort. Which one? Well, not that one. That one. Yeah, we don't know what Maneba's going to do. So maybe we want to appease her. No, we don't need to. That card could be huge. Now, there is one card in the game that's hilarious. It makes the entire island disappear. If that's that one, we lose the game. Which means, I think I want to go somewhere else. I think I need to go somewhere a long way away. And there's a tsunami about to happen here. Oh dear. Where's the ships? Maybe we go here. We need to run away. We need to absolutely run away. Because we need to save ourselves from Maneba's wrath. Oh wow. Okay. So I'm using a cube and I'm doing a move. So I've got 4 movements. So 1, 2, getting on the boat and sailing to here. 3, getting on the boat and sailing to here. And I think that is safe. So it means at the end of the game, even if this island was to completely disappear, I've still got this. And I'm going to move 4. Do I need to do anything else? I'm not sure there's anything else that I need to do. There is no point appeasing her, because whether she's range 1 or 2 makes no difference whatsoever. I'm not going to get anything for putting this on there. I don't want to appease him because I want him to get really bad, but we don't know what he's going to do. Oh, he might kill that. We know that those 2 are going for there because that's the nearest island. We know that that's going for there. Don't I have to attack a fort? Hang on a minute. Have I forgotten to attack a fort? I think I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I've forgotten to attack a fort. So forget all of that. Yeah, we need to go attacking. So where were we? That was there. That was there. That was there. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can only attack with a noble, and you've got to spend 1 weapon for each thing in there. So that's those 2 gone, dead, and we have defeated that. And I'm not going to establish a settlement. I mean, I could, but I don't think there's any point. Because we're going to be disappearing. We're going to be going somewhere else. Yeah. Is your villager there allowed with the yellow one? I believe it is. Yes. And I could even convert that yellow one to mine. That's what we can do. We can use the dowry rules. Awesome. Right. I'm going to do another 4 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I land here. I spend 3 things that I don't need. But I can spend 2 salt and some cereal. In fact, I've got some stone I don't need. Yeah, you never know when I might need that. I don't think I need the stone. So I'm going to spend 2 stone and a salt. That becomes mine. Right, I've got extra people now on the board. And I think now is the time we stop. The worry is this. The worry is what this one's going to do. Because he's going to be very, very angry. So whatever he does is going to affect this island here. But I think this is the only safe place. Because I can't establish a settlement here because of the resources. I don't have enough weapons to take this on. I was 1 short. I can't establish a settlement here. I can't establish a settlement here. There's not safe. So I think this is it. We are in the luck of the gods, I think. But I don't think there's any other actions that I want to do. I mean, I could get this. I might as well. I might as well do a double production here. Getting myself 4 figs and 2 wheat. I might as well for this. There's no reason not to. Okay. I can't force the tsunami to go to level 3. No. No. And if I did, it would get rid of those. But it'd also get rid of that. But that would be quite cool as well. Yeah, so you can really manipulate them. I think we're done. I don't think there's anything else that I want to do. I mean, I could make some fish and some salt. So why not? I don't need to do this. I'm just doing it because I can. 2 fish and 2 salt. No, 1 salt. Yeah, okay, we're done. Here we go. Let's go for end of game and see what happens. So first of all, breeding. I actually get both that one and that one. Okay. Oh, conquistadors breeding. Oh, I forgot to count that. Look at this conquistador fort here. It's full of them. Right, any other breeding? Yes, pigs in the wilderness. They breed. That's it for breeding. Feeding people. I now have 7 people. I've got loads of stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I fed all of my people. Maniba is not angry. Now we do spoilage. Now, I've unfortunately got 5 spoilage. So what happens is 1's okay, but the next one goes in. Acheron gets angry. Then the next one goes in, but it's Acheron only gets angry once for each player, I believe. So basically there's loads and loads of spoilage, but Acheron's wrath only goes up by 1. Do I have a cave built? Yes, I do. So now the offerings, he gets really, really angry. She gets a bit angry. That's the offerings done. Now we go to the events. Yes, there was a lot of wastage there. Yeah, lots and lots of wastage. Because I had the milk, the goat's meat, the figs, I had everything. Okay, so first of all it is Maniba. Right, what's Maniba going to do? It looks like a hurricane. It is Tropical Storm. Remove the fishing settlements and clay tokens from all islands within impact area. All natives die. Best news ever. So the fishing settlements and clay tokens from all islands within 2. So that is that one and that one. And that's it. That's all it does. So there's a tropical storm on this island here, but not any others. Okay, now we do Acheron. No. No, 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 no. That's the worst one. That is the demon that I was talking about. Oh no. He's turned up. Goyayota, the demon that lives in the volcano, comes out to bring eternal darkness. So, it kills all natives. This icon is slightly wrong. It has been changed. It shows both nobles and villagers in the new one. Within its impact ratio die unless they are on volcanoes. Neither walls nor idols protect against this catastrophe. Bye-bye, Paul. It's been brilliant. This has been a brilliant game, but what an end. So the demon comes out of the volcano and all islands within 3 die. All the people die. Oh no, I'm not dead. I'm not completely dead. Because this guy's still going to be alive. Okay, I think. Right, now we have the volcano. The volcano is within range 3. So this is brilliant. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Anything else? Do we have any more mountain hexes to put on the board, or is that it? That's it. It's just another volcano there. Okay. Then we have the white ship, which establishes a fort there, which is 2 conquistadors. Yeah, we're going to lose from conquistadors, aren't we? Then we have the grey ship that establishes a fort. I think it's here. Doesn't really matter at this stage. I've run out of conquistador counters. No, I haven't. There we go. There's 2 there. And then the black ship tries to establish something here. This is the nearest island, but unfortunately it can't because it's a volcano. We have a tidal wave. Tidal wave is strength 2. Oh. Oh no. Why didn't... We knew this was going to happen. Right, I might do a slight undo. We didn't know what that was, but we knew that there was going to be a tidal wave and we knew it was going to be here. Okay, this is things that we knew ahead of time and I could have quite easily sacrificed a goat meat to appease her. We could have done that. So I'm just gonna undo that bit. Yeah, too much waste? No, the waste was not a problem. I wanted to generate waste. I'm not sure why generating the waste was a problem. But I am just going to undo my last turn, which is a little bit of a cheat, but as I say, we've not revealed any information that would have changed it. So instead of it going to there, it actually goes to there. That wouldn't have affected her power at all, but it does affect the tsunami, which just affects that area. Because yeah, we do not want to lose that. Because that would be even worse, I think. In fact, would it be even worse? Well, no, it wouldn't, because I'm already on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, let's not undo it then. We're not undoing it. So the tidal wave goes off. I have hardly any people left on the board. I have one of each. That's the important thing. You need one of each. But it means that goes as well. And that. And that. Oops. Yeah. So it's all gone. So volcanoes are okay, but everything else within 2 is gone. And then we do the black pirate ship, the black conquistadors that attacks there. Right, that's the events. So now we check to see if the game is over. Do all players have 1 noble and 1 villager left? Yes. So the game is now over. So have we achieved our mission? Well, did we survive 3 ages? Yes. Have we achieved our mission? Yes. I have fewer than 5 people on the board, which means I'm allowed to have a maximum of 6 conquistadors, and there are 7. Why am I moving her? Oh, yeah. So, there you go. We did lose, but how close was that? Yeah, there's only 7 conquistadors on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there was allowed to be a maximum of 6. So that is a loss, but that is a very, very close game. And I think we did that right. There was a little bit of undoing at the end, but it just shows you how much you are able to manipulate the wrath of the gods in order that their effects actually help you. Because at that point at the end, I didn't mind losing these 3 people because it didn't change the column that I was on in there. The important thing was that it got rid of that. That's fascinating. That is a really good puzzle game. And what you've seen today is the solo game. If you are a solo gamer, I'm interested to see what you think about it. Because there's lots of different types of solo games out there. And I know a lot of people that play games similar to this solo. So yeah, if you're a solo gamer, please let me know in the comments what you've seen today. And whether that is your kind of thing. The variability in the game comes in the fact that these cards are different. There are other cards that we haven't seen today. The event cards, they're not always the same. They're slightly different. But also the way the game plays out because of, where is it? These cards. These cards that determine where the things happen, depending on the age, it's going to be a different puzzle. Every time you play, it's going to be a different puzzle. You thought I was going to die midway through. Yeah, so did I. Different tribes, but yeah, there's quite a lot going on. There's very much a puzzle aspect to the game, especially if you see in advance what the catastrophes are, what's coming, and then you can basically work out what's going to happen, which is what we tried to do at the end there. And that's where it got a little bit, because I'm not experienced at the game, I needed the help in working out what I needed to do to force the gods to have a particular wrath level to affect the board state, which would have benefited me. Oh, if she'd gone to 3, I could have taken the other conquistadors. Yeah, exactly right. If I'd have forced that up to red, which I couldn't have done. So she gets angry if you don't feed your people. It's printed on the board here. So if you don't feed your people, she gets angry. Now, I did have enough food. Or if you don't have the shelter for them, or if you don't do her offering. So I would have had to have not enough food, and I assume, I don't know if this is in the rules of the game, but it should be if it's not. So low, if it isn't in the rules, but it needs to be clear that you have to feed your people if you can. Now, I'm just going to check the rules and I'm going to see what it says in there. Because if you can voluntarily not feed your people, I think that's wrong. I think you must if you have to. It says must. Players must feed each villager on the board with 1 ration of food. Nobles feed themselves. Each unfed one. Yeah, I would make it specific that you cannot, you must feed your people if you are able to do so. And it's only if you are unable to do so that villagers die and the wrath goes up. Because in that case, yeah, you're right. I could have forced it to 3, and then the tidal wave would have actually taken out that, and we'd have won the game. Brilliant. Really, really clever. Really, really clever. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful. This video has been created in order to help the crowdfunding campaign, which I think goes live tomorrow on GameFound. So thank you very much to the designer for asking me to create this. This was a sponsored video, but my job here is to show you how the game plays to see if it is the kind of thing that you would like yourself. I'm not here to try to sell you the game, because I know there's some people who are going to watch this video and go, that's not my kind of game. That's absolutely fine. I'm here just to help you make a decision as to whether it's the kind of game that you might want to back and might want to play yourself. And that's it. We're done. So if you're interested in the multiplayer game to see the competitive version, which definitely feels very different, it's mostly the same. It's probably 90% the same rules, but there's a few little tweaks to it that make it very competitive. I did that video, that's already on the channel now. And good luck with the campaign. Yeah, the campaign I think goes live tomorrow. And yeah, let us know just if you're interested in the game after watching this, or if you've watched it and you've decided, yeah, that's maybe not for me. But yeah, as I say, hopefully it's given you an idea of what the game is. Before I disappear, just a couple of thank yous. Thank you very much, obviously, to the designer. The designer spent all day Friday with me, helping me learn the game, which helped me get to where I am today, and has helped me today with a couple of things. Thank you very much for your support, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. If you like the content that I create and you want to support the channel directly, you can do so at patreon.com/gaming rules. We've recently passed the milestone of 800 supporters, so thank you very much to everybody for your support. I have a few things planned special, but the Patreon campaign is still growing. It's still not over. So lots of benefits for Patreon supporters, access to behind the scenes footage and entries into contests and stuff like that. But that's everything. I am done now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.